Hello, everyone. My name is Wang Wei, and you can call me Wendy. Okay, today my presentation topic is transactional leadership. Okay, I will show you four sections about transactional leadership. The first one is what is the transactional leadership? Second is transactional leadership and transformational leadership. The third is transactional leadership in educational organizations. And the last one is conclusion. Okay, the second one is what is the transactional leadership? This part includes history, definition, video, and its characteristics. Okay, now we learned about history. Transactional leadership was introduced by Hollander. Hollander believes that leadership behaviors occurs in a specific situation and the training process in which the leader and the lead meet each other. That is, the leader guides and motivates the subordinates to complete the organizational goals by clear requirements of tasks and rules. Okay, now we learn the definition. Transactional leadership is part of a leadership style. What means it means that it's focused on oversight, organization, or performance, and this is an integral part of the overall leadership model. And this model, this leadership is a leadership style in which leaders promote obedience by rewarding and punishing their subordinates. Okay, according to the reward and punishment system, transactional leaders can motivate their subordinates in a short time. Okay, now let's enjoy a video to learn what is transactional leadership. Okay, now we enjoying the video about transactional leadership, and those characteristics we learned from videos: extrinsic motivation, practicality, resistance to change, and discourages independent thinking. Okay, and then there are some other characteristics about transactional leadership. Okay, the first one is transactional leaders use rewards and punishments to gain followers' compliance. It means that they are less concerned with the well-being of workers than transformational leaders, and their external motivations that minimize the complaints of followers. They accept the purpose, structure, and culture of the existing organization. Employees are rewarded for good performance. And the second one is the transactional leaders are willing to work within existing systems and negotiate to achieve organizational goals. The third one is the benefits of transactional leadership are largely situational, but it's not always. Some benefits include rewarding individuals who are self-motivated, follow instructions, and when some short-term goals are achieved quickly, the benefits tend to be achieved quickly. Workers have clear incentives and punishment, and encouraging productivity. Okay, the last one is it doesn't work well in flexible work environments, where it rewards the staffs with perks or money without using other real motivators. Okay, about the characteristics of transactional leadership. Everyone can answer this question and send your answer to our WhatsApp group. Okay, and section 2, transactional and transformational leadership. Okay, now now we learned about transactional and transformational leadership are the two most easily compared. The GEMS distinguished two leadership styles. Transactional leaders who exchange tangible rewards for the work and loyalty of their followers. Otherwise, the transformational leaders they interact with their followers and emphasize higher levels of internal needs, raise awareness of the importance of particular outcomes and new ways to achieve those outcomes. And the transactional leaders, they tend to be more passive, but transformational leadership can be positive. Okay, the difference of the two leadership styles. Transactional leadership is responsive, and the transformational leadership is proactive. Transactional works within the organizational culture, but transformational works to change the organizational culture by implementing new ideas. And the transactional leadership their employees achieve objectives through rewards and punishment set by leader. But for the transformational, the staffs achieve objectives through higher ideals and moral values. The transactional They motivate followers by appealing to their own self-interest. For the transformational leadership, they motivate followers by encouraging them to put group interests first. And the transactional leadership, the management by exception, maintain the status and stress correct actions to improve the performance. As for the transformational leadership, the individualized consideration. Each behavior is directed to each individual to express consideration and support intellectual stimulation, promote creative and innovative ideas to solve problems. Okay, after learn difference of two leadership styles, I will show you examples for the transactional leadership. The basic assumption of transactional leadership is that parents, teachers, and students are rational people, motivated only by self-interest, by themselves interest, and constantly striving for the most of the least, often without regard for the common good. But for the transformational leadership, the hypothesis of the transformational leadership is that parents, teachers, and students play individual roles with references to norms. They belong to a specific group and are affected by group norms. They have the ability to transmit moral judgments that sacrifice individual interests to develop the common good of the organization. Okay, now we will enjoy the video about the transactional leadership with transformational leadership theory. Okay, after watch the video, I guess you must understand about what is differences between the transactional and transformational leadership. Okay, now I will show you my section 3, transactional leadership in educational organizations. In this part, I will show you transactional leadership in educational organizations in the Chinese context. The principles transactional leadership style affects the staff in many ways, like job satisfaction, job performance, and teacher teaching innovation. Okay, now we can see we can look the table. It's about transactional leadership effect on job satisfaction, organizational commitment, and job performance. And the second table is also, and from two tables we get the findings is effectiveness of transactional leadership. The first one is contingency reward has significant predictive effects on leadership effectiveness. And the second one is contingency punishment has no significant predictive effect on all aspects of leadership effectiveness, like teaching staff job satisfaction, organizational commitment, and job performance. For the findings about the contingency rewards have strong predictive effect on 3 aspects. This shows that in Chinese institutions of higher learning, the ability to fairly reward employees according to their contributions to the school is very important to promote staff's satisfaction and organizational commitment and their performance. For the contingency punishment has no significant predictive effect on leadership effectiveness. It means that in China, teachers are punished by school leaders only if they make serious teaching mistakes. There is no penalty for simply not meeting organizational goals, like failure to achieve organizational and teaching objectives is rare occurrence. Okay, for the job satisfaction, Chinese is a society with a large power distance. In educational system, educational organizations, teaching staff need to rely on their supervisors to obtain various organizational resources. This includes teaching resources, teaching facilities, promotions, and rewards. When the transactional leadership of the principal, they plays a role in the work, giving the teaching staff fair resources and fair teaching tasks, and exchanging their work performance for promotion and more significant organizational roles. The teaching staffs, the teacher, or other staffs of school, their job satisfaction will be improved. Okay, now I'll show you example like teacher Yang, the 6th grade teacher, is a math teacher. She has been working very hard since she started working, and she also learns how to improve her teaching on the internet in her spare time. She hopes to get promoted through her own efforts. The principal observed that teacher Yang was serious in her work and responsible for her students. She has no history of making mistakes in her work. So the principal let Miss Yang take the first grade math class. And when the excellent teachers were selected at the end of the term, end of the semester, Miss Yang got the most votes and was promoted to the head of math group. Because thanks of the her own efforts and the teaching opportunities provided by the principal, Miss Yang has been promoted. Therefore, she has a higher degree of job satisfaction. Okay, and the job performance. The performance of Chinese teaching staff includes classroom teaching, class sets, teaching subjects, student attendance, and student performance. The principal's transactional leadership plays an intermediary role in the performance of teachers. You know, when the headmaster sets the work goals for the teacher and motivates the staff with promotion and material reward, it will have a significant effect on the teacher's performance. Now I'll show you example. You know, in Chinese, at private teaching institutions, the principal sets up a performance score assessments for teachers for their staffs. The performance score examination form determines the additional material reward of teachers. In order to get more salary and material reward, teachers will pay much attention to the performance score. Employer also offer teachers the chance to earn higher grades, such as recruiting students or getting a thank you flag from students' parents. If the teacher brings more benefits to the educational institution, his performance score will be higher, which means that he will receive more material rewards or bonuses. And for the teacher teaching innovation, when the principal gives a full pay to the positive effects of transactional leadership, the principal satisfies the basic material needs and economic interests of the teacher and provides a basic life guarantee for the teacher's job, and use rewards and punishment incentives to establish a clear incentive mechanism. Avoid the negative management way will have the positive effect to the teacher teaching innovation. Okay, now I will show you advantages for transactional leadership. The first one is relationship support. It means that employees unite to express their expectations and supports can encourage the employees to accomplish organizational goals. And the second is incentives. Material incentives for teaching staff can give staff the motivation to work hard. And also it can increase staff income. And the third one is before asking the staff to do things, principal will be strict with themselves and advocate the principle of peace to solve problems. And the last one is resources support. The principal considers the main direction of the school's development. Okay, for the disadvantages of transactional leadership. transactional leaders often don't recognize or praise teachers for their contributions beyond the school's goals, but they also don't provide verbal or encouragement to go beyond those goals. School teachers may lose motivation or be discouraged from pursuing higher teaching quality or academic achievement. This is bad for educational organizations. And the second one is transactional leaders rely too much on a single approach and are unwilling to do so. By discussing and even considering the ideas of others, which limits the creativity and ability of leaders to adjust. Third one is the leader is less likely to consider environment changes in educational organizations. As it focuses on interaction between school leaders and faculty and staff rather than external factors. The last one is the principle maybe called manipulative tools for personal gain. Well, the overemphasis on deadline has become the pursuit of efficiency and maximization of results while neglecting the quality of educational organizations. Okay, the conclusion is transactional leadership is an educational organization can be benefit both the faculty and the organization. But leaders in education never just use transactional leadership. Leadership in educational systems is the uses of alternative leadership, like transformational leadership, distributed leadership, or situational leadership. Transactional leadership plays a more important role in the enterprises and has more significant effect because the relationship between the leader and the staffs is a realistic contract behavior in the enterprise, which means which pays more attention to obtaining benefits. Okay, now I finished my presentation. If anyone have questions, please ask in our leadership WhatsApp group. Thank you. That is my references. Thanks for your listening. Bye.